Hey everyone, this is my daily vlog, episode 2, and today I've been thinking about death. All day I've been thinking about our relationship to death as humans, how we understand it, why we choose to think about it. Um, I have been thinking about what death is, what happens after death, and how people look at death since I was in elementary school. I remember it vaguely when I was in elementary school, thinking about it often, and as I got older, I thought about it more and more. And it's not something that I think most people think about because it's disturbing. The idea that our life will end, our life as we know it will end, and even if you believe there's an afterlife, which I do, there's still that uncertainty and that feeling of going into a completely different dimension, a completely different elementary place that is the afterlife for people of many faiths and spiritualities. But there's that uncertainty, and I think that's why a lot of people choose to not think about it. They choose to just focus on life, and they choose to not think about what is inevitable for all of us, and death is that inevitability. Now, in my teen years, I've been close to death before, more than a few times, and I'm not gonna give those stories right now because I want to save that till later. But more than a few times, I've been close to death, and I think even in my teen years, I had thought about death so much that being close to death wasn't as terrible as it would have been for other people. It wasn't something that I lamented about. I more lamented about continuing living as I was. But you know, that changed later on and for several different reasons and circumstances. But I think that it's good to consider what will most certainly happen to us. Aging, sickness, death. We should always consider these things, think about them often, because we're bound to encounter them as human beings. Maybe not sickness, but in some form you're going to encounter sickness eventually. I mean, there's very few people on the planet that haven't encountered some kind of sickness. I mean, even the flu or having a cold, something like that, you're going to encounter it. Being exposed to too much fluoride, something like that. Dementia is something that comes with old age that we should really think about more and make a strong foundation of ideology in preparation for that. But anyway, different faiths understand death in very different ways. And some faiths view death as the corrupting enemy, the king of death, Satan. Some religions, like Hinduism, view death as not that which is corrupted, but that which is lawful. And you know, my illusion is in Hinduism, which I'm Hindu, is what is basically the enemy. But death is really that which comes at a lawful time, when it is your time, and based on your actions and what you've done, your karma. Now, no matter what faith you're in, I think it's part of our human instinct to focus more on what we want than what is inevitably going to happen. Death will happen, but we don't desire it usually, and that's why we focus on life. And there is a very important fact that we all have to realize: life cannot exist without death, and only by death existing do we truly understand and value life. We shouldn't shy away from death. We should look at it and say, look how wonderful it is that we're here, because we're eventually going to go there. We're eventually going to die. We're eventually going to come upon a circumstance in which we die. If not because of some ailment, then it's going to be because of old age. I mean, we might live to, let's say, 150, but in the years of this earth has been around, this galaxy has been around, this universe has been around, that is such a tiny fraction of just the time that we know exists. Now, I'm a fan of science and spirituality, so you know, take everything I say with a grain of salt based on that. If you don't believe in science or you don't believe in spirituality, but our short existence shouldn't be seen as something to avoid. It should be seen as something to embrace and to view every moment as a pure miracle. Because the fact that we are alive this very second, the next minute, the next hour, the next year is amazing because of all the circumstances that have led up to us existing right now. And it's us existing in this moment as we are right now. It's virtually impossible. But it's occurring. And it's really the only thing that could have occurred. It's a miracle that every moment is an inevitable miracle. And really, what I wanted to say about death is not to focus on our inevitable downfall. It's to focus on how valuable life is before that downfall happens, before we transfer into another realm, or if atheists are right and we don't go anywhere until we blink out of existence and only live on in our legacy. We should value every single moment and take advantage of it. Even if there's reincarnation, this ego, and I do believe in reincarnation, this ego only lasts a certain amount of time. This mind, this person that we are, only lasts such a small amount of time. Cherish it. Don't waste it. Don't numb yourself. I've numbed myself with alcohol for a long time and drugs in the past. Drugs and alcohol were a much bigger problem when I was younger, but keep your mind crisp. View it all. Keep your consciousness continually lifted upward in an upward mood, and continue to learn and expand your understanding so that these moments become shinier and shinier gold that you polish with all of your efforts. And once all of your efforts are spent, at the end of your life, you want that gold to be brilliant. And that's my advice on death. That's my contemplation on death. Thank you for watching.